What is up, everyone? This is Mills of Mish and Mills, and this is our Week 8 video. If you're wondering where Mish is, he is still in California. He will be back soon if you miss him. But we got to go on without him right now, right? It's Week 8, and before we do that, we're going to go ahead and do a quick recap with our hits and miss. Let's start with the hits. At quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, 36.42 points. Jameis Winston, 26.1 points. Cam Newton, 25.66 points. Andrew Luck, 22.74. Tom Brady, 22.68. Baker Mayfield, 20.9. And Joe Flacco at 19.56. At running back, Todd Gurley, we all knew he was going to show up, and he did, 30.6. James White, 29.7. Tariq Cohen, 22.3. Also with 22.3, Latavius Murray. TJ Yeldon with 17.8. And Kamara with 15.5. At wide receiver, John Brown, 29.4 points. Thielen continues, 29 points. Jarvis Landry, 25.7 points. Alshon Jeffrey, 21.8 points. Mike Evans, 20.7 points. T.Y. Hilton, 18.5 points, and Devin Funchess at 18.2 points. And then at the tight end, we have Trey Burton at 20.6 points, Zach Ertz at 25.6, Kittle, 20.8, Njoku, 15.2, and Goddard, 14.3 points. Now let's go ahead and get these misses real quick. And fun fact for you guys, I only named off 9 quarterbacks, so my misses weren't the worst, but Kirk Cousins, I put cousin. Kirk Cousins, though, 17.54. Jared Goff at 16.48. Zeke, 16.2. That's disappointing. And LaShawn McCoy, 0. Oh, let's forget about that one. Then again, though, he did get injured, guys. You can't predict stuff like that. Taylor Gabriel, 5.6 points. Marquise Goodwin, 4.4 points at the wide receiver position. And then tight end misses were Olsen, 8.5 points, and Ebron at 6.1. So not a bad week, though. We still hit a lot, and it was, a slow week in general because all the buys. And this week does have some buys as well, so we got to find those guys we don't normally try to throw in. And let's go ahead and start that. Let's go to the quarterbacks. So to start with the quarterbacks, we're going to go 8,000 and above. And we have a decent amount. We got Patrick Mahomes, 9,200. Aaron Rodgers, 8,600. We got Jared Goff, 8,500. Roethlisberger, 8,400. Andrew Luck, 8,300. And Cam Newton at 8,100. Let's go ahead and let's start with Patrick Mahomes. Safe play every week, guys. His floor has been above 20 points. Yeah, I can go with Patrick Mahomes any week. Aaron Rodgers against the Rams and Jared Goff. Actually, I like both of them. I think that's going to be a shootout. 2 really good offenses and 2 defenses that haven't really slowed many people down. So I like either. Ben Roethlisberger against Cleveland, I can do that as well. It's in Pittsburgh. Big Ben is always good in Pittsburgh, so I can go with that. Andrew Luck at Oakland. I really like that pick as much as they're airing it out. Even last week, he didn't pass it as much. They were able to run the ball, but he still got 4 touchdowns. So, yeah, Andrew Luck I like. And then Cam Newton, I could do it maybe in the tournament because I don't know if many people will be on it against Baltimore. But I'd prefer, Andrew Luck and some of the other guys I named above it. How about let's go down. We got Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton. Who else we got, guys? Andy Dalton, Mitch Trubisky, Joe Flacco, Russell Wilson, C.J. Beathard, and Matthew Stafford. Jameis Winston against Cincinnati. I like Jameis Winston at 7,800. They have a decent defense, but that offense runs through Jameis Winston. They don't have much of a run game. I can go with that pick. Vice versa, Andy Dalton. Tampa Bay's defense hasn't been good. You've seen it all year. People are tearing them up. So at 7,800, I like that pick. Mitch Trubisky, he's been on a tear. why not? I mean, I think he eventually slows down a little bit, but I could see him doing what he's been doing against the Jets as well. Joe Flacco against Carolina. A lot of people, I think, like this. I'm going to stay away from it. I don't recommend it. Russell Wilson against Detroit. The whole offense does run through him, so I guess I could be okay with it. I would try some other guys. Beathard against Arizona. I'm not going to do it this week. We got Matthew Stafford against Seattle. I could be okay with that. Baker Mayfield against Pittsburgh. I could go with that. Yeah, I think they're going to be down. And he's going to have to pass it a lot. And Pittsburgh's defense hasn't been the best. I'm not going to do Alex. Actually, I'd be okay with Alex Smith against the Giants. Now that Eli Apple just got traded too, you know what? Alex Smith, I could do it. Case Keenum against Kansas City, yeah, they're going to be down, and they're going to have to pass a lot. So I could definitely go with Case Keenum this week. And other than that, let me see. Maybe Derek Carr if he plays. But yeah, that's going to be at the quarterback spot, guys. Let's go ahead and let's move on to running backs. On to the running backs, we have Todd Gurley by himself in his own range at 11,000. Obviously a safe play against Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay I like playing running backs against in the first place, much less Todd Gurley. So yeah, I mean, you have to pay way up, but if you do, you're going to get production. Barkley against Washington at 8,900. Kareem Hunt at 8,100. Le'Veon Bell, but obviously, right, you see he's out contract dispute. Don't play him. And James Conner also at 8,000. So let's keep it in the 8,000 range first. Like Barkley a lot. Washington did slow down Zeke last week, but Barkley gets it done in the passing game. I can go with Saquon Barkley any week. Kareem Hunt against Denver. Y'all saw Kareem Hunt. He was running hard last week. I like Kareem Hunt at 8,100. I'll play it. I really like James Conner against Cleveland. Last time they played, he played well. And it's in Pittsburgh. And with all this Le'Veon Bell stuff, I think he's running as hard as he can. I think he wants that job. And honestly, I think he'd prefer they trade Le'Veon. So I love James Conner this week. Let's go ahead and move down some and get to some of these other guys here that are below 8,000. And let's start with Joe Mixon against Tampa Bay. I love Joe Mixon. I think this guy has a ton of upside when it comes to NFL production, and I think he's going to keep getting better. Against Tampa Bay, whose defense is not good, I like some Joe Mixon. David Johnson against San Francisco. Guys, they got a new offensive coordinator. Hopefully, it's Byron Leftwich. Hopefully, he can, understand that this is the one piece of offense that you got besides maybe a Fitzgerald, but you don't have a quarterback right now that can really get it to him. Give it to David Johnson. And against San Francisco's defense, I like David Johnson a lot. Y'all saw what Todd Gurley did last week. Christian McCaffrey against Baltimore. I'm not as high on him as I usually am against Baltimore. He may get a bunch of dump-off passes, but I'm going to stay away from McCaffrey this week. Tariq Cohen against the Jets. I like Tariq Cohen. His price is starting to get up there more than I liked it to be at 7,100, but he's in that offense. He's definitely becoming the feature back, it seems like. I like Tariq Cohen. Adrian Peterson against the Giants. I like AP. AP looked like back when he played for us. This past week against the Cowboys, I can go with Adrian Peterson at 7,000. Kerryon Johnson, keep an eye on what's going on with like Theo Riddick and stuff. But if they're not having 4 running backs that they're throwing out there, I could be okay with it. Marlon Mack against Oakland. Guys, Marlon Mack had a great game last week, and I don't see Oakland doing too much. It kind of seems like they're not admitting it, but they're kind of giving up on the season, sort of. They got rid of a Cooper. It seems like they're just completely in rebuild mode, so I like Marlon Mack. Phillip Lindsay against Kansas City. Yeah, and I'm not sure what's going on with Royce Freeman yet. I have to check into it. We'll probably see him soon. But yeah, I like Phillip Lindsay this week. Nick Chubb against Pittsburgh, just because of the amount of carries. I like it, 6,400. Chris Carson, me personally, I mean, you can do it in maybe tournaments and cash plays. I'm not really feeling him or Mike Davis until I just get a little bit more, as to what they're doing in that backfield. I'm not going to go Gio, one, because he's questionable, and two, because Joe Mixon starts. I'm going to stay away from Alex Collins this week and Jordan Howard just because Cohen's getting all the totes, it seems like. Crowell against Chicago, I'd prefer not to. Yeah, I'd prefer not to do it. Doug Martin, though, against Oakland. Yeah, I could go Doug Martin. My concern is I don't know whether it's going to be him or Richard. So you can go either in maybe a tournament and hope that you pick the right one. I think this week will be a good gauge, though, to kind of see which one's going to get more carries without Marshawn Lynch playing. So I would stay away just because of that possibly, but whoever does get the carries, they can definitely show up against Indianapolis, so I don't mind risking it in tournaments. Matt Breida with the ankle, I'm going to stay away. Chris Thompson, I'd rather play AP because he's injured. Aaron Jones, if they would give him the football, I'd play him, but I don't see them doing that, and I think they're going to get down to the Rams, so I'm going to stay away from that. I'm not doing Peyton Barber. I'm not doing Royce Freeman, especially with them being injured on top of that. As I stated, I would be okay with Richard. No, not doing Mostert. Blunt, I would stay away from. Buck Allen, I would stay away from. Let me see if there's anyone I would actually maybe play for you guys. Maybe Capri Bibbs if we get Chris Thompson out, maybe Capri Bibbs. He might get you a touchdown. Other than that, though, I'm going down. Yeah, that's going to be it for the running back spot that I feel comfortable. I prefer a lot of weeks to try to spend more money at the running back spot to make sure I get that because there's so many receivers to choose from. And in fact, let's go ahead and start talking about those wide receivers right now. On to the wide receivers. Let's start with 8,000 and above. We got Antonio Brown, A.J. Green, Devontae Adams, Odell Beckham, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Man, they got both the Pittsburgh receivers. That's how you know you got bye weeks, right? Antonio Brown any week I'm okay with. He hasn't been putting up the numbers that we're used to him putting up, but who's to say it doesn't pop up after the bye week and he just gets on a roll. A.J. Green against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's defense has been terrible against the past. Like some A.J. Green this week. I also really like Devontae Adams. At 8,600, I think the Rams defense hasn't been great. If Cobb's still out, he's going to get a ton of targets, and they're going to have to air it out against the Rams. Devontae Adams can definitely put up some big numbers this week. Odell Beckham against Washington. Odell Beckham's a safe play just about every week, in my opinion. The offense kind of runs straight just through him and Barkley, and I don't blame them for doing that. So I could go with it. Juju against Cleveland as well. I could do it. Would I pay 8,000 for it though? That I don't know. I do know. I'm not going to do it. Though he could have a big game. I'm just not going to do it. But I'm not saying you shouldn't. If you don't, if you would rather pay, for Juju instead of Antonio Brown, I'm not going to dock you for it. Tyreek Hill against Denver. I love Tyreek Hill every week, and it's a pretty good price for him at 7,800. So I can go with that. Mike Evans against Cincinnati. I mean, just out of sheer targets, I wouldn't be against it. Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks right here against Green Bay. I like them both, and I like Cooper Kupp if he plays as well. I like any Rams receiver any week, and especially when they play defenses like Green Bay. T.Y. Hilton against Oakland. I really like the T.Y. Hilton Andrew Luck stack this week myself. I think Oakland's defense hasn't been great in years, and I think that Indianapolis can definitely take advantage of that with these two guys. Emmanuel Sanders against Kansas City. Start him. Emmanuel Sanders. Case Keenum loves that slot spot, and Emmanuel Sanders has been tearing it up this year. And Kansas City's defense, they've looked a little bit better the last like last week, but I think Emmanuel Sanders will be all right. Golden Tate against Detroit. It's hard because you never know which Detroit receiver is going to show up. I'd be okay with it. I actually am starting to prefer Galladay more than any of them just because I feel like he gets the most catches for some reason. Cooper Kupp, as I said, I'd be okay with it. I don't know if he's going to play, so watch out for that. Tyler Boyd, though, against Tampa Bay, I love this pick. John Ross has been ruled out. It's going to be Tyler Boyd and AJ Green. And if you maybe want to get like a Devontae Adams and then save the money and pay down, you can pay down on Tyler Boyd. I love it. John Brown has been on a roll every game, just about. A good pick always. He's such a deep threat. I don't mind it. Tyler Lockett, I'm going to stay away from. Yeah, I'm going to stay away from it. Jarvis Landry against Pittsburgh I like, just because, that's Baker Mayfield's main man. And Pittsburgh's defense isn't the greatest. I said Kenny Galladay. If I was going to pick one, I would pick Kenny Galladay this week for a Lions receiver. Sterling Shepard with Evan Ingram coming back. He had a good game this past week. I think Washington's defense is better than Atlanta's defense, and Evan Ingram obviously takes away some of the targets that he was getting, so I'm going to stay away. Sammy Watkins, if you want to pay down for one of Patrick Mahomes' receivers, I'd be okay with. Doug Baldwin hasn't shown me enough yet to pay that kind of price for him, so I'm not going to do it. Devin Funchess, I'm going to stay away from this week. I don't like playing against Baltimore's defense unless, you're a really, really talented receiver, and he's probably mediocre when it comes to fantasy scoring, at least. Deshaun Jackson against Cincinnati. The connection with him and Jameis Winston has never been the best. You kind of saw it last week too, so I'm going to stay away. Demaryius Thomas against Kansas City, I could be okay with. Keep an eye on it. There's talks that he might get traded, so he might not be playing in that game. And then I have no idea who the defense he'll be going against is, or if he'll even play if he gets traded that week. Michael Crabtree, I'm going to stay away from. Chris Godwin, I'd be all right with it at the price. Allen Robinson, no. Randall Cobb, if he does play, maybe. I don't think he's going to. Not Marvin Jones. I'm not doing Paul Richardson. I'm not doing Larry Fitz. I'm not doing Crowder. And I'm not doing any of these guys. I might do Taylor Gabriel. Maybe he bounces back this week against, I just totally scrolled up. I believe they're playing the Jets, though. Yep, the Jets. I could see him maybe having a good game. I prefer him over Allen Robinson if you're going to pick a Bears receiver. And other than that, how about some Martavis Bryant, guys? Amari Cooper just got traded. So, yeah, Jordy Nelson and Martavis Bryant are in play for me against Indianapolis. Their defense isn't great. I like both these guys, and they're very good, very well priced. $5,300 for both of them. Yeah. That offense, and no Marshawn Lynch, so they may want to pass him more. So I actually really like both those guys. I could be okay with either. Marquise Goodwin against Arizona, maybe. No, because Patrick Peterson will probably tail him, so I'm going to stay away unless Patrick Peterson gets traded like he's asking. Other than that, maybe Scantling if Cobb and Allison don't play. I'm going to go ahead and stay away from everyone else, guys. So, yeah, that was a breeze through, right? I hope I made it quick for you. And let's go ahead and let's breeze through some tight ends also. Now for our tight ends, we got Travis Kelce, 7,300 against Denver. I like it. I always like Travis Kelce. I'll never give you a hard time with picking him. Kittle against Arizona. Kittle has a really good Beathard connection. Kittle's been on a roll. I could be with this. You don't have to worry about Patrick Peterson covering him. So, yeah, I like it. Jimmy Graham against the Rams. I could see why you do it, since you think it's going to be a shootout. I'd prefer Devontae Adams if you're going to pick part of that offense. Trey Burton against the Jets. I like Trey Burton a lot. Trey Burton has been on a tear. He almost, in a weird way, seems like Trubisky's favorite receiver. So I love Trey Burton. Eric Ebron against Oakland. This might be a good week to go Ebron. He kind of didn't play too well last week. Swooped in and stole his touchdown. So Ebron might be a good pick this week because no one else. I can go with Jared Cook as well. Just with the whole Amari Cooper being gone, Jared Cook was already, it seemed like, Derek Carr's favorite target. Now he's gonna possibly be passing more to Jared Cook. I like Jared Cook. I also like O.J. Howard. O.J. Howard is having a great year. I definitely would be okay with that. Jordan Reed against the Giants. Jordan Reed, he's just so inconsistent. I'm going to stay away from it. Greg Olsen against Baltimore. I'm going to stay away from it. The same reason I'm staying away from everyone else. That's really on Carolina for the most part. Evan Ingram against the Redskins. I can go with Evan Ingram. I like it. Njoku again. I can go with against Pittsburgh. Their defense hasn't been the best. I like that. The odds with that. Not going to go Herndon. Uzomah. Tampa Bay's defense has been really bad. Uzomah hasn't done very much yet, so it could pay off if he did it in a tournament. Vance McDonald against Cleveland or Jesse James. Pick your poison, right? You never know which one's going to show up, which is why if I'm going to, which is why I'm not going to go that route, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Not going to do Michael Roberts. Maybe Ricky Seals if he plays against San Fran because their defense hasn't been the best. They got Cameron Brate kind of low at 4,700, so I could be okay with that. Other than that, it's kind of a weak week for tight ends. I would, if you can, pay up truly, which is weird to say, but I would. But let's go ahead and since we're done with tight ends, fly through these defenses so you guys can set your lineups yourself. Finish out the video. We got our defenses. So we got the Bears against the Jets. Are they going to finally rebound? They haven't been as good as they were before, but they've had some way better opponents. I'm okay with the Bears this week. Indianapolis against Oakland. I feel like they got higher price because they played against Derek Anderson last week, so I'm not going to do it. Carolina against Baltimore. I don't like it that much. Not for that price, at least. I'll go Washington Redskins. No, I'm not going to go Washington Redskins against the Giants just because Barkley and Odell will score enough themselves. But then again, actually, I wouldn't be against it because of the amount of sacks that they will get against Eli. So I wouldn't do it just because I think the points will be scored to kind of counteract those sacks. But you can do it if you want. The Rams against Green Bay, not doing it. Seahawks against Detroit, I don't like it. Kansas City against Denver, no. San Fran, I could go San Fran against Arizona. I like that, and it's a good price at, what is it at? 3,900. We got Pittsburgh against Cleveland. I'm going to stay away. Cincinnati against Tampa Bay. I'm staying away from that too. Detroit against Seattle. I could be with some Detroit against Seattle. I think they may get the Russell Wilson. The offensive line hasn't been the best. The Ravens at 3,700. They're playing great this year. I started them in a season long against the Saints, and I actually finished in the positive, which is rare for against the Saints. Giants against Washington, no. Jets against Chicago, no. Cardinals versus San Fran, I really like this week. And at 3,400, you can fit in a lot of other good players if you pay down on that. So I really like that pick this week. And other than that, I'm not really seeing any defense that I would want to pay that far down for. Yeah, I think as far down as I would go is the Cardinals. But that is it for this week. I'm sorry, guys. I know I flew through it. I got some stuff I got to do. And Misha's in here to help. He's in California, so I had to fly through it this week. But those picks hopefully will help you as much as I've been helping you guys the last few weeks. We've been on a tear. We've been winning lots of money. Let's go, Misha Mills family. Let's make some more. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you're watching our videos, please sub so you always know when I post these. And also, please like and leave some comments if you guys have any players that I didn't name that you like. Share the wealth with the rest of the Misha Mills family. But thanks, everyone, for watching. Please sub, and good luck this week.